Eluru. And so whenever I got an opportunity to speak something on behalf of Sentence, and I feel that it is my mother institution. And I learned many things from Sentence. And because I have become assistant professor, it is because of the confidence that the institution has given to me. So I'm always proud, and I'm always feel privileged to have that connectivity towards towards my college Sentence. And today, after I finished my MA, even I got an opportunity to do my MA in Central University. My father did not allow me to do here. Since Sentence is my, we have a lot of good affiliation with that institution, and even I did my master's in Sentence, and then only I have moved towards my MPhil in HCU. And I did my PhD here, and soon after I finished my PhD in 2008, I got an opportunity to work as an research associate here, and later I have become assistant professor. And since then I am working so on the areas of economics of discrimination, child labor, marginalization, women, and other relevant issues. And since the Equal Opportunity Cell approached me to talk to Bhavani Madam from Economics Department, and she asked me to talk something about right to equality, and I felt that it is quite relevant to my research area, and I mean my teaching and research area. So then I have accepted that invitation, and I have come here to say, to share whatever be the knowledge that I have on the issues of inequality. Since inequality is a very vast subject, and it is very difficult to cover all the areas, and it is a kind of multi-dimensional topic. But inequality can be taught in a very different perspectives by different persons. And even if you ask somebody to talk about inequality, and the notion of inequality may change, and even the focus of the subject also may change, because inequality is everybody's experience. Because since I'm teaching social exclusion, I always feel that so it is also another synonym for the for social exclusion. Inequalities and social exclusion, discrimination, deprivation, marginality, stigma, and these are all relevant subjects, and there are relevant topics and which have more connectivity to each other. So that when we talk about this right to equality, so whatever be the thoughts that have come to my mind, I have focused on those areas, and I will bring a small note on that, a descriptive analysis of those areas, because inequality, as I told you, inequality is not a single line to talk about, and it has a multidimensional aspects. So first of all, since Madam Dr. G. Anita Mary Madam, when she spoke to me and over chat in WhatsApp, and she asked me to talk about equality and inequality, since all students are from the science background, so it is better to come from the beginning. I mean, so I have to touch what is the basic lines of inequalities. Then only the students will come to understand and what are the issues that have been covered under this. So then I wanted to come, I wanted to give a brief introduction about what is inequality, so in social science discourse especially. So and what is the relevance of these equalities and inequalities in the contemporary discourse with relevance to the society and in all the social aspects. So what is equality and what is inequality? Since all of you are from this science background, and many of you have a different perspectives. In each one have a different perspective about the equality and inequality notions. And here, so I'll give you a basic definition of equality and inequality. So what is equality? Equality is the state of being equal. Okay, state of being equal, especially in status, rights, or opportunities. Okay, what is status? Status, it may be social status, economic status, political status, cultural status, minority status, and whatever it is. But irrespective of the religion, irrespective of the status, everybody should get the equal opportunity and equal rights, and they must have to share the equal rights, and they have to be they have to be collectively work together. So in order to in order to share whatever be the the resources that they have. Okay, so that is what is equality. Equality is the state of being equal. And what is inequality? So when we talk about inequality, it is the condition of being unequal. Okay, isn't it? It is the condition of being unequal. So that is, we can say it as a lack of equality, disparities. So many times we talk about disparities, that social disparities, the differences, and injustice that comes under inequality. And it is the partiality that is also an outcome of unequal inequality, and unevenness. And these are all the synonyms for the inequality. And since most of you are from the science background, and we can say that in mathematical, it is a kind of statement that two quantities are not equal. And if you see the square has all equal, it has all equal lines. Okay, but if you see no the rectangle, so rectangle is any two are equal, horizontal lines are equal and the vertical lines are unequal. So we can always say that no, it is equal. Equality means it is indicated by the symbol of hash. Sorry, it is always indicated the symbol of hash. Hash means unequal. Okay, and you also always, you are noting down the what greater than, less than, and these are the symbols which shows the inequality of the distribution in the whatever it is. Okay, and the degree of inequitable distributions. So that is in mathematics. Just for your understanding, I'm telling you. Okay, so in other words, okay, so it is equality means it is being equal. Okay, it is one of the ideals of democratic society. Okay, and what is democracy? So I mean, most of the students, they might have studied in their schooling that what is democracy and what is the democratic society. So but for their knowledge and understanding, and before we are going to the next lines, and for their knowledge and understanding, I'm going to give you the meaning of democracy once again. Okay, what is democracy? Democracy is a form of government. Ours is a democratic government, isn't it? So you all have known that at least. So democracy is a form of government in which people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation. So so we have three powers: legislation, executive, and judiciary, or the main pillars for the democracy, isn't it? So that here, so democracy is a form of government where the people only elect the legislative body. Okay, and to make the laws and to formulate laws, and no, the executive, which is actually accept the laws, and no, they pass the laws. Okay, executive body. And this is no, it is which is a form of government where people have given more importance to select their elective bodies. Okay, so but before we are going in details of this democratic society, so one should have to understand who is the father of nation. So who is father of nation, and who is the father of Republic India, and no, who is father of modern India? And we all should have to know this, because this democracy and the pillars of democracy always have the connections with these people. Okay, and the father of nation is M.K. Gandhi, that is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. And the father of Republic of India, or founding father of modern India, Dr. Baba Saheb B.R. Ambedkar ji. And which is actually, this title has been given by the Columbia University, and he shared this title with Raja Ram Mohan Roy as the father of modern India. And even the Potti Sriramulu is the father of linguist democracy in India. And these are all they have contributed a lot to bring so much democracy and the equitable society. And they worked hard to bring a harmonious cultures and a harmonious society. So in the beginning of the independent India. So we must have to remember those people. And what are the four pillars of democracy? Democracy rests on four pillars, four important pillars. So that just now what we have discussed, that is legislature, executive, judiciary, and the press. Press also played a very important and significant role, and in transforming the shape of India, because everybody should come to know what is happening in politics, and what is happening in the society. They will come to know through press only. Okay, and what are the basic characteristics of the ideal democracy? So India stood on the principles of equality, liberty, and fraternity. Okay, so this is very important. This is one of the very important characteristics of ideal democracy. Okay, so that is equality, liberty, and fraternity. So equality stood always at the first place, because unless all should be treated equal, so that there is a chance of no injustice may come into existence, and no injustice may take over that place. Okay, and if there is no equality, and there will be no ideal society. Okay, and these principles indicate that all humans being born free and with equal dignity and with equal rights. Okay, and this legal equality. So the equality is more no connected to the legal entities. So the legal equality and political freedom and the rule of law is no they're always identified as the foundational characteristics. Okay, so why we are talking about legal equality? Because the equality is always protected by the law. Okay, and everybody equal before law. So that the legal equality is very important. So in order to protect the individual rights individual rights of the people, and whereas no these democratic values always includes the democratic decision making, freedom of speech. So these are all part of this equality, because no if you are equal, then you have every right to speak. Okay, so you have a freedom of speech, so you have every freedom to have the democratic decision making. So that is the it is no you're always equal before law, and you always have the entitlement of getting social justice, and which makes the society fair. So the equality always have all these connections with the decision making, freedom of speech, equality, and the equality before law, and their support from the judiciary system. So these are all part and parcel of it. So in order to have no egalitarian society. Okay, so what are the examples of equalities and inequalities in the world? Okay, so inequalities may happen so in all aspects, and where it begins, actually where equality and inequality begins. So generally we talk about, whenever comes we talk about equality, and we always talk about the society, and we always talk about no even the educational institutions in the society and the neighbors, and where it starts from. But actually, to our understanding, we must know, so inequality starts at the beginning from the family. Okay, from the family system itself, if you find that inequality exists. So inequality, because there is an inequality between male and female, there is an inequality between gender, like no so the wife is always have to work, and so men have a different kind of work. But it is a fixed notion that no a woman has to work on the same lines. Okay, and even the girl child face several problems, and even if you see in educated families now these days, even the girls are coming to colleges and schools. But whereas they in the rural areas, if you see, they always follow a cultural notions and the religious obligations that no women should not come out. Okay, so come out to study. But these are no like that. No, the foundation has been started from family itself. So the inequality started from family itself. So that is what we have to understand. Okay, so and if you see the inequalities, and inequality is it okay, that starts from the family, and no and it has its connection to the society. Okay, so and it has its connection to our relatives, and no the larger form of society. But is this inequalities happens only in the developing countries like India? No. So the inequalities had happened in everywhere. So for example, and recently there are certain unequal there's some discriminations, racial discriminations that are happened so in certain places. So if you see that whenever we saw the lines like no your knee on my neck, I can't breathe. So whenever we listen these words, so immediately one person will come to our mind, that is George Floyd. So if you see the George Floyd case, so and he has no it is for a very small reason, no, that that person was caught by the police, and no, and he pressed the police pressed his neck no, with his knee, and he couldn't breathe. So finally that person died. So this is this is an example for the racial discrimination, and it has become very viral those days. That is the reason I have taken this example. Okay, and it is no, it is it is a kind of no discrimination that is the racial discrimination. So in America, that has become an example. And in America, so we in New Jersey, and there is another kind of witness that so there are some black colleges historically. So there are some, the blacks have more association with some colleges, and they have started colleges, and no, they have institutions, and there were lot of very recently. So they have no, in January, in February, and they're getting no lot of threatening calls that no, that you have to close your colleges, and they are threatening them that no, we will kill you. Okay, and the same thing happens in the Heinsberg resident, that is 29 years old. A transgender has been stabbed unto death. Okay, so in the Morristown Road, so in the very recently, so that is still, that issue is going on, because since he is a transgender. Okay, so since that person is a transgender, that person was killed. So this inequality, the social inequalities, intolerance is the word which is connecting more to the inequalities. So these are the words, and which always no, persisting everywhere, and we are always listening many instances, and why and what it is happening, because inequalities always no results this intolerance, and where so the majorities and there is always been a conflict between the majorities and the minorities. Okay, and majorities and minorities not in equal numbers. Always the majority are in minor number, and the minors are in majority, always suffer because of the inequitable treatments, and no inequitable the social structure. Okay, and what is this equality, and what are its features, and don't know what are these types of equality. So there are the equalities, kind of no equalities of two types, and we can say that no, it is a natural equality and man-made equality. Okay, and what is natural equality? Natural equality means everybody born like the same. Okay, and if that is a natural inequality, yes, we have natural inequalities also, because of the no color, because of the height, because of the weight, and because of several reasons, and all people are not equal. Okay, so that is by birth they have some inequalities, and which is the most acceptable inequality, then one should have to have. Okay, that is the natural inequality, which is coming from, which is what is the man-made inequalities are much more dangerous, as no, these inequalities actually they always no, they always target the certain sections of the people, like no the marginalized sections, and no minority sections, like no, in India always we have, there is a kind of hiccups between no, these the Christians, Buddhists, and no Muslims and Hindus, and there is a lot of conflict that is arising all these groups. Okay, and it is not actually the man-made, it is not the conflict between the groups, and actually it is the created conflicts between the groups. Okay, so and no, equality really means that equal opportunities for development, but are everybody is getting equal opportunities is a big task here that one need to understand. So in fact, when we talk of equality of men, so then generally in patriotic society, men has given several more privileges. Okay, so and they always get no absolute equality rather than fair equality, because under the absolute equality, and they always get absolute powers by birth, they get all the absolute powers, and they always by birth they got no, there are so many with a lot of no equality, and there is a lot of inclusion which is associated with the men based on their gender. Okay, and it is absolute equality is more associated with men, rather than the fair equality, where women and men both are equal before law. Okay, and what are the two types of no these inequalities, that is in that just now I have no natural inequalities and the man-made unnatural inequalities. So the that is the man-made unnatural inequalities, no, that is the differences. It is based on the caste, color, creed, religion, sex, place of birth, and no, there is and it is there is a conflict between between all these. Between the religious groups, and between based on the color, based on the race, based on the sex, and based on the place of birth, and people have no several kind of differences that they get, and the several kinds of no inequitable treatments that the people may receive. Okay, so and now we have to understand whether inequality is natural or by choice. Okay, inequality is natural or choice. Inequality is very much natural. Okay, as everyone is not look like the same. As I said, it is because of height, because of weight, and there are so many inequalities that are existed by birth itself. But no, but how to treat others is definitely a choice. Okay, so inequalities are inevitable, but whereas the choice is whether to treat the others equal or not is our choice. Okay, and we possess several qualities better than others generally, and equality is having respect what others have possessed. That is equality. Maybe maybe the intelligence may differ. Maybe you may be having having several opportunities based on your birth, based on your parents, and depending on your caste opportunities, and depending on your social no hierarchies, and you may have several opportunities by birth itself. But whereas the other person may not have the same. But even in the educational institutions, we observe, okay, we observe the unequal treatments, like the people gather, even the friendships also they make based on the caste, based on the religion, and based on the economic conditions, and no, based on several other issues. They're part of this. Okay, and how we treat others, that is the choice. So here I can say that no, inequalities are very much natural, but the problem of inequalities exists is because of the choice that people have. For example, we generally we discriminate labor. Okay, labor, whoever work in our in our fields, and whoever work for us, and we have a lot of discrimination towards them. But this but if one day that labor who doesn't come and who cannot come, and if you have to perform that work, then you will be understanding what is that labor importance. Okay, and we discriminate scavengers all the time. No, whenever we see the scavengers, and we always treat them very in the very mean way that the people talk to them. But no, if one day that scavenger not comes, then the whole life will become messy, and the whole life will become disasters happen. Okay, so and we discriminate, we always discriminate that nomadics who always go in search of some livelihood. So we always have no discriminations towards migrants, so who, and these migrants face their notion of problems are entirely different, because these people, they move from one place to the other, and they do not possess their ration card, they do not possess their voter ID, and there are a lot many issues. This is a separate issue. Then so we may have we can have a large debate on this, because the people who are immigrants, and they face lot many problems, and that is high level of inequalities that we observe with the which are associated with the migrant workers and others. Okay, and while understanding all this, if one day your housemaid come, if one day your manual scavenger is not cleaning up your streets, and if these migrants doesn't work So that doesn't come, and it is very difficult for you to find the persons to construct your places and all. So these are all various problems that we have, but still we are always depending on the others, because man is not an individual. So man is always dependent, and they always have interconnections with the people. But in spite of that, so there is a lot of discriminatory attitudes that creates inequalities in the society, and also which is causing so much of unrest, which unrest will become the result. Okay. And while I'm going to the next line, and even I can say that even in some places, if you see the one person who is riding horse, that person that person was killed because he's riding horse in front of the other upper caste men. And the women who is going to fetch the water in the common well, then those two women were they were dragged, and they make naked, and they were beaten up by men and women. And there are several issues if you see the newspaper, and know how these inequalities and how these discrimination and inequalities are existing in the society. These are all gives us lot of a lot of information that which is very painful to us to understand, and how the situation is going on, how our surroundings are our surroundings are actually making the things worst, so day by day. Okay. And when it comes to the government incentives, and government started giving a lot of incentives to the people. Okay. So but no, equality is not where you help people to win the race by making them to sit in the jetpack. Okay. So but it is not that but now all the governments are giving several incentives and several schemes they are bringing to give these people a lot of money. If you see in Andhra Pradesh and in Telangana and in several other states, and they are giving, see, for old age people you can give some some pensions, and for children, and you can give some incentives for the study. Okay, for the study purpose. But no, you cannot float the money for you just sit idle and we will feed you. But that is not the way to that never reduce the discriminations and in disparities and inequalities that are existing in the society. But it was when you help people to get fit for the race. Okay, that you should have to give training, and you have to provide employment opportunities. Okay, that these are all different platforms where the people will get trained. Okay, so to make a full utilization of their capacities. So equality is not where you give free something to a person because he cannot afford to it, but equality is when you help that person to learn how to earn by using his skills and no mind to get things of his choice. Somebody is talking? Okay. Okay. So this is these are the basic these are the background stories of this is inequality, why it is still persisting in the Indian society. But this equality, the equality, I'm talking both the sides, equality and inequality, because whatever is not equal, that is unequal, and whatever is unequal, that never be equal. Okay, so here we have some equality and its features. Equality doesn't stand for absolute equality. It accepts the presence of some natural inequalities, because that's what I said. So the people have natural inequalities by birth itself. By accepting that, by respecting that, we can bring the harmonious society by spreading the equal opportunities. And equality stands for the that is or unnatural man-made inequalities. Okay, so that is when we stop these man-made inequalities, and when we minimize these man-made inequalities, and if our by using our law, if we restrict for using these man-made inequalities, then there will be a chance of the possibility of egalitarian society. Okay, and equality, it is always postulates and grant and guarantee the equal rights. So equality always guarantee the equal rights, but are we really having the equal rights? That is very important. Whenever I talk to my students, I ask them, so what are the equal rights and opportunities that you possess? but most of the people doesn't know what rights that do you have. Okay, that freedom of speech, but how do we use the freedom of speech? Nobody knows. And whenever we see in debates, and then only we come to know, oh, this law is supporting us and this law doesn't support us. Okay, and this law is only for protecting my rights. But even when people doesn't know and which law is protecting them, no, from to fight against injustice and inequalities, then nothing will happen in life. And no, even the constitution has been written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, but which has so many several laws and several there are several provisions has been given to protect the individual and the group rights. But even nobody, including most of you and most of us, doesn't know what exactly the constitution says, and we never studied with understanding. We never studied, and whenever we need some references, we use that the constitution documents, but we never use it, because that is our life. That is our life. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar has given us life through constitution, but we never read constitution and what it actually means for us. Okay, so that is actually, if you doesn't know what the rights that you possess, you never understand what the equality is and how you are facing the issues of inequality. And this equality implies the system of equal and adequate opportunities for all the people in the society. But here, adequate opportunities we need to get. Okay, so and that is based on your skills, and no, that is based on your efforts and based on your capacities. If you get the opportunity to work, then we can say that no, it is the adequate opportunities that one's get in order to improve their lives and improve their place in the society. And equality means equal stratification of basic needs. Okay, so and no, that is equal stratification of whenever we talk about equality, and we always talk about the equitable distribution of resources, and what is that equitable distribution of resources, and what are the resources that actually you have and you need. What are the many people doesn't understand what are the basic necessities one must have to have. No, and that is the reason people are still below the poverty line, because they cannot fight for their rights, they cannot fight for their opportunities, and they never fight for their equality. They always fight for the seats that what government is giving, and what is the seats that that in the respective society is giving for them for their daily life. Okay, and you have but the constitution make you to live a dignified life in the society, but where you never take it an opportunity to use that document, so in order to protect your life. And then when it is equality always advocates an equitable and fair distribution of wealth and resources. Okay, but but there is actually the main aim of this equitable distribution is to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. But if you see in India, so the gap is day by day, it is widening. And our race to the world richest persons are increasing. The number of persons who are reaching to the heights and who are reaching, to the, international standards, they are increasing. But what about the standards of the people who are marginalized? And still more 60% of the people are under poverty line. It is because of our poverty lines always measured based on the $1, $2, and the quality intake. And do we really have that quality intake at home? So regularly, the basic instinct that is the basic nature of the human society, Indian society especially, I can talk about. So if you see the women, is she really having the quality intake regularly? But when we are not talking about quality index, but Neelakant Rath and Dandekar, they have given, so that is 21,000 calories for urban labor per day, okay, and 24,000 calories for rural labor per day, okay, is the minimum. Based on that, the quality of intake, so they are deciding the poverty line. Okay, and what is the quality of food that we are having? We doesn't know. Even the educated people doesn't know that. Okay, so that is and that is one thing. And this equality always accept the principles of protective discrimination. Okay, so this protective discrimination is which accepts equality, always accepts. So the protective discrimination. So and who are weak and who are wrong. See, even in Mahabharata, if you see, the Pandavas' mother, that is an epic, but no, the Pandavas' mother, when she is distributing the food, okay, to between all the 5 sons, but after distributing among the sons, and she takes some food from each, and no, she used to serve to the Bhima, okay, the second son. Why? Because so that food is sufficient for everyone, but no, Bhima needs to have more, because because of several reasons, because of because of his physical situation, and no, because of his anger and several other reasons. So when the society is, the same thing happens in the society. So the equality, what we are talking, equality is not the equality at all, because equitable distribution of resources is not equally distributing between the people. It is the equitable distribution means equally distributing the resources, okay, but the needy and poor must have to have a little larger share when compared to the others, then only they will develop. Okay, so but in India, if you see, so the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, backward classes, the Christian minorities, Muslim minorities, women, children. Okay, so these are all, no, they are all part and parcel of this. They all should have to have this, no, equitable distribution of resources. Okay, and because this equality always stands for 3 basic features. Okay, that is the special privilege in society, having absence of special privilege in society. So if special privilege means some people are, no, in advantageous positions, and rest of the people doesn't have that, no, advantageous positions. Okay, that is one. And there should not be any special privilege given to the people. Okay, all should be treated equal. Okay, all the resources must be equally distributed between the people. Okay, so that is the reason that land reforms actually has come. Okay, land reforms main aim is to share, no, that in the feudal system, the large quantities of land, the thousands and thousands acres of land are under the control of few persons. So that is the land holdings are under the control of few persons, and the rest of the people are, no, they remain as laborers and small farmers and tiny farmers. But this based on that inequalities, the land reforms had come just to bring justice to the SC, ST, OBC and other minorities by sharing that land between the people. But no, that anyway it got failed, because no, but because it is not only India but everywhere these inequalities are perpetuating. It is supported by the that is, no, the minor, large, influential people. Those who are very minor, actually, if you speak about those people, they are very minor, but they're very influential. Okay, so that is the presence of adequate and equal opportunities for the development for all. But every opportunity should be equally distributed. So just now I have given an example. So even some people, they never get an opportunity to go and fetch water where other rest of the people are fetching water, because of the caste and because of the social stigma and because of there are social stratifications. Okay, and yes. Somebody is talking, can you mute, ma'am? Okay. Okay, and equal stratification of basic needs to all. Basic needs, and everybody has to satisfy their basic needs. What are the basic needs? Basic needs are food, clothing, shelter, health, education, sanitation, and health facilities, and these are all the basic necessities for everyone. And this needs to be satisfied. Unless these things are not satisfied, then there you can find the perpetuating levels of the inequalities. Okay, and when we come to the gender inequality, so already I have given an example. Gender inequality, for just for the sake of the students, I am giving, because I told you, like, the inequality started from home itself. For our house is the base for making inequalities. But inequalities is not at all bad. But inequalities are, when they have become choice. And when they are become choice to discriminate somebody else, it will become a very harm for the society. And we can take some examples from the gender inequalities over 2 lakhs years ago. Okay, there is a biological inequalities between men and women, where women were pregnant for many times, Okay, and they have very short lives because of no, there are a lot of pregnancies, carrying many pregnancies, and no, it's end up between no, their life, the whole life will end up between the pregnancy and growing up children and taking care of the families. Okay, and since generations, no, they suffer, they actually suffered. They don't know that they have suffered, but it has become tradition later, and it has become a religious obligation later, and it has become no, the culture, religion, family, society, everybody makes women to give birth to persons. But even then, if they don't give birth to a male child, then that will become a major problem. The society will not accept them. So if they give a continuous birth to women, girl child, then that man has every right to marry the another women. Okay, so to give birth to a male child. So this is the situation, so where it lies. But okay, so even there are so many laws, no, after this the constitution exists, several laws are giving supporting to the women, that no, they are saying that you are also equal before law. Even still we are facing the problem that no, if a women give continuous birth to girl children, so they are facing several troubles and several discriminations. Okay, and no, one of my student, she did her PhD, and she got awarded just last week. Then she got awarded, and she made her study on the childlessness in Kerala. Okay, the problems of childlessness. Okay, in Kerala, childlessness women in Kerala. So then that study actually, she has brought about so many case studies and how women is treated when they don't have children. Okay, that actually, as per our constitution, as per the women rights, so it is the choice women also has whether to have children or not, whether to have how many children they must have to have, no, based on their will and wish. But instead of no, having their possessing their right, but they're facing lot many troubles and lot many tortures in the society, so because of not having children. Okay, so this is because no, for there is some, for so many religious rituals, no, they must have to have son. Otherwise, no, they are the boys are ready to give divorce and they go for the study. But many of the boys, they doesn't know that actually the root cause of the girl child is only men. Okay, so the XX is the women and the XY is men. I mean boy child, but that is determined only by the men, not by the women. But even then, these the people are no discriminating women based on that. Okay, but after the industrial revolution in the 18th century, it brought many changes, because after this industrial revolution, so women got an opportunity to come out and no, they started working in the industries. And also it is because of the creation of birth control practices in the 20th century gives women an opportunity to have control over their pregnancy. Okay, so and you know which these two, the industrial revolution as well as the birth control practice, they have given and women they have given an opportunity for the women so to have control on their pregnancies, and which helped the women to concentrate on their abilities. Because no, but now it is and now people are also watching that no women is no less than a man, because they'll be able to very recently, not very recently, but no, slowly, the women conductors have started coming. The women police have come, but these jobs are only meant for men in the beginning. So there is a kind of no lot of inequalities and discrimination that was happened. Okay, but of course there is a the conservative men always, they always fought tooth and nail against the change. Okay, and they tried to prevent women at men's jobs even now. But now the women started coming out. Okay, so in science, okay, so we can say this as a inequalities because of no this conservatism, which okay, the conservative system. Okay, the conservative system always follow the old methods of process and old social structure and old mindsets and mentalities. The conservative thoughts, they always gives no lot of they lot of bigotries they create, and no, they give lot of troubles and tortures to the women. And the traditionalism also, if even in the universities and even in the educational institutions, the women have to follow certain traditions. The wearing, okay, so wearing, every religion have their own traditions. to follow what kind of attire they wanted to wear and all. Okay, even today, the huge percentage of world population lives in cultures. Okay, only the culture is the breath. It's a breath edge point for everyone. Okay, so they live for culture and no, they die for culture and beliefs. Okay, and the man-made sex roles always mandate women get less money than men. It's because no, whenever they even in the universities, if you see, you feel that no, we are all very. I mean, we are all very fortunate so to get positions. Okay, some persons they yeah, so in they always have a notion that no, these women are very opportunists and sorry, these women are very privileged because they got an opportunity to work in the university. But even in the universities or no, the man-made sex roles always prevents women to enter into the administrative positions, to take up the to take up higher roles, and not to take up, even there are a lot of the comments and no negatives that comes at women's back. Okay, so that happens even in the educational institutions, but that happens even in the industries where they work, and no, wherever the women go, so they always make some comments. It is because of the inequalities that are existed in the society, that the existing point of this inequality is the mind. Okay, so and no, if you see the types of inequality, I wanted to just brief of this because no, the time is running fast. So what is the types of inequality that we have? The one is the natural inequality. What are the types of equality that we have? First, we will discuss about the what is the types of equality. That is the natural equality. Natural equality is no, despite the fact that men differ from the rest of their physical features, psychological traits, mental abilities, and capacities, but all humans are to be treated equal humans, because no, it is only the physical differences men and women have, but no, but rest of the things they work together, and no, they always know, if they get an opportunity, they always know how to use their abilities. Okay, so and know the social equality is very important, because our social exclusion inclusion center has started only to address the issues of the social equalities and social inequalities, social exclusion and social inclusion. Okay, so that is the social equality, because no, the society is always played a significant role, so in making the person a perfect person, and no, making a person is more inclusive. But it stands the equal rights and opportunity for development for all classes. If you go to villages now, and you can see there is a SC, for SCs there is a colony, for OBCs there is a colony, for minorities there is a separation, and no, for OCs, even among OCs also, based on their work, and they have different colonies. Is it the egalitarian society? Is it the equitable society? And is it the equality that is existing in the society? Because no, for example, if you see India is the combination of more villages. Okay, 80% of the people lives in villages, but even these people are facing a lot of problems. So in order to entertain, and in order to have their equal rights and opportunities for development, for holistic development of their development of their stature, and actually the modern central theme of this equality is to end gender inequality. The first problem, then the last problem is gender inequality. If that problem stops, and if we give some solutions to that problem, so then it is the more equitable society will exist, because of this gender inequality we are facing lot many issues. Okay, so that is the equal status and the opportunities to the women, to ensure equal rights of male and female children to live and develop, and these are all a part and parcel of egalitarian society. And what is the next one is the civil equality. What is the civil equality? It stands for the grant of equal rights. We all have equal rights and we all have equal opportunities, but being a part of this society, being a member in the member part in the society, but people are not getting equal opportunities. But the civil equality is only possible when everyone get equal right and opportunities. Okay, and everyone treated equal before law. Okay, and if you see this civil equality, if a normal person commit some mistake, and he will be jailed. And if the if that village head or no any other person and who is at the upper strata, so who commit any mistake, he never be jailed, and even FIR also will not be booked on his name. Okay, and a few after maybe a decade, but a few years before, there was a film actor and who shot no their producer in their house itself. But no, that issue after that, no, it hasn't come, and what happened, it doesn't come out. Okay, and if something happens in the I mean in any place, no, that no, the media coverage will be more. Okay, for those issues. So this is no, the civil equality is one indicator that always shows whether whether people are no, or all people are treated equally or not. And then when it comes to the political equality, not only in India but no, in other countries, no, that is in Latin American and Caribbean countries. Recently I have given a lecture. So that no, when it in case of Latin American and Caribbean countries, the Afro descendants always have problems. Their wages are very less, and no, their invisibility is also fate of them, because they never be included in the census. Okay, and they never be included in the the privileges and what is provided by the government. And no, the same thing happened in India. When most of the people are indigenous, and most of the even the tribes which are very interior, and they have not come into the census lists, and they are not getting any ration card, and they don't have any privileges also. Okay, and in case the same case with the immigrants, and the same case with the labor who are migrated from for the job. Okay, this corona has brought many issues before our eyes. So how these migrant people are facing problems. Okay, and these people will they migrate for several reasons, and they'll be missed their ration card in their home, because every month you have to take the ration. Okay, and every month you have to collect your pension, and every month you have to show your face to the respective authorities. But no, because of that, no, they will become invisible. So the political equality is no, everybody should get an opportunity to participate in the politics. If you see the politics, the grandchildren, and they'll be the rulers, and later their children will become the rulers, and the sons will become the rulers, and rest of even the film industry and the political industry, both are the same. Oh, okay, so the generations, they come together. Okay, they rule the industries. Okay, so then where do we think about these equalities? And no, there are some deaths also happened. So in because of these cases, when the other people, those who are really deserve to get the positions, if they don't get, no, they're committing suicides in many instances. Okay, and when it comes to the economic equality is something, no, we always talks about, and how these gender differences and wage differences, and these are all no part and parcel of this economic inequalities. But no, but this economic inequality actually originates from intelligence inequality, talent inequality, motivational inequalities, and all. Because no, because based on their intelligence, they will get an opportunity. So that the more they will share more economic resources. And talent inequality is one, no, based on their talents, they may get an opportunity to enter into some industries, and no, they prove themselves. And no, that is no some kind of motivational inequality. Some people get motivated so to do something, and the people who doesn't get any motivation, and they'll be out of the bracket to get an economic opportunities. So when it stands for fair and adequate opportunities to all for work, okay, and entering the, so in order to fulfill their needs of their livelihood, then only we can say that no, there is an economic inequality. So if everybody gets fair opportunities, then definitely they will get economic opportunities. And then legal equality is one that just now I told you. And the judiciary system, and everybody is just they are equal before law. Okay, and the judiciary system is also always says that no, everybody is equal. But it is because of the people who doesn't defend themselves, and though they cannot create no proofs that no, they have not faced and proofs that no, they are not able to they did not commit any no that crime or no any problem, and they cannot no, produce proofs in front of a judiciary system. Most of the innocent people are suffering, and it is also a part of unequal system. And then how do we get right to, so far we have discussed about no several issues like no migration issues, women issues, and that immigrants issues, and several no education in among education also. Education, some people will get more opportunities, so that if you see the education has become the hub for inequalities, so showing inequalities, because there are several varieties of school, world schools, international schools, national schools, kendriya vidyalayas, and the finally the local schools. Those who studied in the local schools, and they cannot compete with the schools where the students trained in the cities or trained in the international schools. But this is a lot of no there is a lot of difference in the quality of education also. So when we address these issues properly, then definitely the many issues will be solved. And when it comes to health, health is also a prerequisite, and it is one of the very important no very important basic necessities for human life. And the state should have to provide the free and compulsory education for children, and no health facilities to the people. But if you see the health facilities, there also you have the corporate hospitals and non-corporate hospital, government hospitals. If you go to a government hospital, so there is lot of infrastructural facilities that people are facing. If you go to the corporate hospitals, they'll treat you like as if you are in heaven. They give you all good treatment. Okay, because the corporate hospitals you never go, you cannot go, because they will loot your money. Okay, and for one go, and you lose all your wealth. So that is the situation. So but where is the equality still? In most of my studies, okay, on health in the tribal areas, still most of the people are depending on the indigenous medical practices. Okay, so and they are not going to hospitals for any reasons. Even for the chronic diseases also, they are depending on the private practitioners. Okay, so that is the situation. So whereas when it comes to the basic necessities also, people are not getting equal opportunities to get the good health, and the good health facilities and educational facilities actually, which are which actually produce the quality generations for the future nation. Okay, and what is this right to equality? Then we will come to, I am coming to the end of the lecture. So what is right to equality? So Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states all are equal before law. For that, irrespective of race, gender, color, ethnicity, religion, disability, and bias, they should not get they should not get any of these problems, and they should have to get privileges. Okay, so the social privileges without any bias, without any discrimination and bias. Okay, and this right to equality is one of the fundamental rights, and people doesn't know what are the fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Okay, and in schooling we have that only. We will just remember for the sake of exam, and we will vomit it. Okay, and we never think of what is actually the right to equality, and know what are the fundamental rights that actually we have. Okay, and this right to equality is always propounding that equality before law, that is Article 14 is supporting the equality before law. Everybody is equal before law. Okay, and the prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, caste, sex, and place of birth, and so we have a lot of discriminations, and there are differences and inequalities based on the place of birth, advantages of place of birth, advantage of the caste where you born, and based on your religion. And there are so many issues that they have come. Even based on the sex also, you will get some advantages, because there is some other issue that we can have a separate issue even on that, the LGBTQ issues. Okay, the transgender, okay, gay, and this the gender. So these people, they always face several kind of social exclusion, and they never be equal in the society. If you see the transgender, so generally the people, every people, whether they're educated or uneducated, or they comment on us, they comment on them, because the people doesn't have doesn't have any any normalcy like other human being have. But based on the disadvantages, people laugh at them, and based on the disadvantage, people give them an unequal status. Okay, and equality of opportunity in matters of public employment, that is Article 16 is always giving no equality of opportunities. But how many people are getting opportunities to working equal? If you see the manual scavengers, generations together they are working as scavengers. If you see the lives of labor, generations together they have become the bonded labor. Okay, and if you see the people who are below poverty, generations together they are facing the problems related to poverty. Okay, and the people who are facing the untouchability, actually Article 7 is actually deleted, they abolished the issues of untouchability. But untouchability has existed in the society in the other forms, not in touch forms, but in the other forms. Okay, so that untouchability is created in the society based on several issues, because the manual scavenging work is only given to certain types of people, because it is attached to certain castes. And no and the labor work is associated with certain communities. And now still we are encouraging the community based no occupations. Okay, and some governments are giving incentives to that particular community to enhance their capacities. Instead of doing that, if they give good education to their children, and they will develop themselves, and they'll come to they will come up, and they'll mingle with the normal societies. Okay, and the abolition of titles and based on caste. That person is from some caste. Okay, and some person still they are chenchus. And no because no if any derogatory word if they wanted to use, but no they will use based on that caste. Okay, and if they wanted to sometimes scold their children or some people also, so like that caste people that you are doing, so like that, no, it is a derogatory word, but we should not use. But our Article 18 and in the Constitution has not given that, no, we should not apply this caste title to use the derogatory words or to abuse any person depending on the caste, based on their caste. Okay, so and this this prohibition of discrimination, no, the that giving titles, but titles like, no, if it is Padma Bhushan, like no Padma Vibhushan, so like if they are Nobel laureate, and no, these are the things that we can give if they are doctors. And no, if with that you can title them, but not with their caste. And but what they possess, sometimes no, it is because of their physical deformities, and it is because of their no disabilities, people call them with their disabilities. Okay, so that person who doesn't have leg, no, so that the person who is mental, no, so like that way, so the physical deformities are quoted all the time, so in order to call the person. So these are all part and parcel of the inequalities, so which are exist in the society. But here, no, I have given some example based on my no experiences when I am teaching. So by mingling all those things, I have quoted some of the issues. But since all the students are from degree and no, they are from the non social science background, so they should have to understand and no, connect themselves to the social issues. Okay, because though you are a science student or social science student, but you are living in the society, you are following the same tradition, you are following the same culture. But even now, even if we wanted to launch the racket, and we do all pujas and all, because they are also part of society, and they follow their customs, and they follow their traditions, and they follows their religious customary issues when they are doing something. So but you being a part of society, you should have to understand and how the society is giving opportunities to the people. And here I wanted to tell you, and I just wanted to know, I just wanted to yeah, actually I wanted to share a photograph which is showing, but here I'm not able to see how to share. Okay, so that is at but finally I wanted to tell you, so far we have discussed about equality and inequality, and we forgot to talk about the equity. Okay, and we forgot to what is equity. Okay, but equality mean, so that is equality means, no, if the same thing is distributed among the people. For example, if the education is meant for all, irrespective of the no worker's child and irrespective of the boss child, if they all come together and they are studying, that is that is equal opportunity. What is equity? Equity is defined as the quality of being fair okay, or impartial, and no impartial. So that is equity. For example, I will tell you what is equity and what is equality. So for example, when it comes to equity, and if you have no 200 rupees, and if you wanted to help some women, and one is having relatively no in a better position compared to the other women, and how do you distribute, that women? So that even the in Ramayana, in Mahabharata, the story also I told you for the same reason. So equality is distributing in equal quantities. Equity means giving little more importance and sharing little more to the needy and the poor. So in case of reservations, so they are giving little more to the needy and poor because they don't have any other source of no other source of incomes, other source of livelihood. Only education is their weapon. So that no, they are giving these opportunities. They're creating opportunities so to enhance themselves. Even then, so if India is witnessed, and most of the women are below poverty line. It is because of their for not utilizing the resources, and it is misutilizing the resources. Okay, so but the terms equity and equality, they sound similar, but the implementation of one versus the other can lead to a dramatically different outcomes of no marginalized people. So if you give little more, that is equity. And if you give equal opportunity, when you give opportunities, then you should have to give equal opportunities to everyone. But no, if you fill the equity, equitable distribution of resources, equitable distribution of resources is not the equal distribution of resources. So that is, we need to channelize, and we need to give little more, okay, distribution of resources to the needy and the poor. So that is what I have given the example, that no, if you have 200 rupees and one is little more good and the other person is in a worst condition, then how do you distribute that amount? Give no 80 rupees to the person who is relatively better, and 120 rupees to the person who is relatively very bad. That is the equitable distribution of resources. That with this I will conclude. And no here I hope that no people have understand what is equality and what is inequality, and no and how do we define these equalities and inequalities which are existing in our society. And I have not taken any theoretical frameworks. Like when we teach our MPhil students or PhD students, or our MA students, and we used to take some theoretical backgrounds in order to support our arguments and the existing arguments. But I have not taken any of those arguments. With all the existing realities, I just wanted to I just wanted to share with you, and what is equality and what is inequality, and how this discrimination is perpetuating because of because of lack of this equality, and what is the difference between equity and equality. So equality, so we must have to have an egalitarian society by equitable distribution of resources, and by giving equal opportunities to all the people, to in the socio-economic cultural spheres, to develop themselves, and to have their full participation in the society, and to become a good human being, and which a good human resource to help the nation and for the progress of the nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I have to say that it was indeed an elaborate and an informative sharing on the topic. We now move on to the Q&A session. The platform is now open to any of those who have any doubts or questions pertaining to the topic. Ma'am, I think there are two questions that have been posted on the chat while the talk was going on. I will read them for you. The first one is, what is the best way to overcome inequality?
Yeah, the best way is to overcome inequalities, to change your mind. Okay, inequality, as I told you, inequality starts from the beginning. That starts at home. Okay, so but before you are moving towards the society, first you change your mind towards your co-fellow. But since you are studying, you are the student, and when you are observing the other students, no, instead of no having differences, instead of having some close affiliations to a particular people based on their advantages, and you also look at the people who are at disadvantages, and then you help them, and no, you be close to them. That is, no, don't show that the differences that you have. You both are students, and no, you both are employees, you both are colleagues. That is the relationship. If you show that, and if you will give them more confidence, so that is the first step of no come up from the inequalities.
Thank you, ma'am. Now there's another question, which is what is the difference between inequity and inequality? And I believe you have already addressed this question to us, and I would like to thank you for highlighting on the difference between both of these with the right examples.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, inequity and inequality, I just wanted to show you. I have a no photograph of that, but no, I don't know how to share here. But it is okay. But no, inequity and no inequality. Inequality is just now I told you. So giving inequalities are no perpetuating. It is because of the social differences. Okay, so it is the personal qualities that one possesses. Okay, and by giving them opportunity, so we can create equal opportunities. That is, no, you and me, one and all the same. But equity is something so which gives more opportunities to the vulnerable. Okay, so who cannot now overcome, even though you give opportunity to them, they cannot overcome. For example, one is coming from English medium or one is coming from the Telugu medium. And once they come together in the intermediate, if they are studying in English medium only. Okay, and it is difficult. All the resources, teachers, notes, and everything will be the same. But no, the opportunity one will get very easy to come up. For the other person, it is very difficult to come up because no, it is entirely different for different world for him. So that no, by helping him to cope up, okay, so that he also can utilize, but even a very short period of time, he will he will improve his abilities and he can cope up, and then he'll be a part of that normal community. So that no, by giving special resources, by giving special advantages to the other persons, so that is the difference between no equity and equality. Okay, inequity and inequality is just it is part of that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for addressing our doubts. I would now invite Nikita, the head girl of PG, to propose the vote of thanks. A warm good afternoon to everyone present in this session. I am humbled and honored to propose the vote of thanks for today's engaging session. I extend my deepest gratitude to our eminent speaker for the day, Dr. J. Rani Ratnaprabha, for taking time out from the busiest schedule and accepting the invitation. I would like to thank the entire management, especially our respected fathers, deans, HODs, and faculty members. On behalf of the management, I extend my gratitude to the coordinators of Equal Opportunity Cell, Dr. G. Anita Meli, and coordinator of IQAC Cell, Dr. K. Rama, for taking efforts to organize the seminar successfully. Last but not the least, I thank all the students who helped us in conducting this session and also actively taking part in the seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk to you and to meet you all. And I congratulate this Equal Opportunity Cell and IQAC Cell. But this cell has been started in even universities, and even for that UGC JRF Net Coaching, I am the in charge for University of Hyderabad, and it is for little more confidence that we are giving to the students by providing some more resources to the students to enhance their skills. And thank you for inviting me, and thank you for giving me an opportunity and for your cooperation and all. I'm very thankful to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for taking time out and being part of this seminar. Note to all the students, there's a feedback link that's pasted in the chat. I would request all the students to open the link and provide a valuable feedback about the seminar. Thank you.